The dollar versus yen is up some 1.8% after the Japan elections. Saw Takaichi win the runoff and assumes the position of a new prime minister. Is the first woman to assume that position, and also she is thought to be a little bit more dovish, and that has the dollar versus yen moving more to the upside, with the dollar moving higher, the yen moving lower. The euro versus US dollar and the sterling versus US dollar also showing dollar strength in trading here today. We'll go through the technicals that are driving those three currency pairs in this video, so let's get started. I'm going to start by taking a look at the dollar versus yen. We had a big, huge gap. We closed the week last Friday right near the 100-hour moving average, and you can see this big, huge gap between that took the price above the 200-day moving average, 200-hour moving average, 61.8% retracement. Even this swing area through here, which had capped the pair at various times going back in time, from here to here to here. We broke above here and moved back down. So another spike above that level gave traders the go-ahead to push even higher. We moved above the high price that we saw a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago, at the 149.99 level. Let's call it 150, and we rotated all the way up to another swing area up near the 150.50 level. We've since moved back down toward that 150 level, trading just above it at 150.13. That'll be a close support. Why? Because it was this old high right here. So rotate to the upside, come back down, retest that, and then rotate back to the upside, or move back below it and start to take back some of the gains that we've seen in trading here today. When you get these huge gains, you do have the potential for profit takers coming in and pushing the price back to the downside. You can see the 5-minute chart here. The price has moved below the 100 bar moving average on the 5-minute chart, giving a little bit of more of a intraday, very short-term bearish move. But you can see also the support at the near the 150 level. It also was a low earlier in the session when the price moved higher, came down, moved higher, came down. So be aware of that on the downside. Also watch the 200 bar moving average on the 5-minute chart. That is moving higher and comes in at 149.72. If we start to break below those levels, then maybe get some further corrective action to the downside. Alternatively, you move down into this area right here. We could get a bounce to the upside, or even if we move down to the 200-hour moving average and get a bounce, that could lead to further upside momentum as well. On the top side, watch the 100-bar moving average in the short term. That'll give us some trading clues in the short term for traders. So just a little nuance that I like to use during volatile times is to use the shorter term moving averages as your clues, at least in the short term. Let's take a look at dollar versus euro versus US dollar. And we saw on trading here today was an initial move to the downside in sympathy to the dollar yen's spike higher. And then we rotated back to the upside in defiance to that move. And where do we go? We went right back up toward the 100-hour moving average. That's the blue line in this chart. We found willing sellers against that level, and that said we can move lower. And indeed, the price did. We fell below this trend line right through here, and then back down through even through this low right here, which was a low there and a low there. You see the 2 points where the price was a low near the 116.59 level. Here's our low. Here's our low right here. And then we had the extreme right here, and we will move down in between this area and this area right through here before finding some support. We're seeing a rotation back to the upside off of that level. Levels that I would watch on the top side would be this level right through here. That was a low price from last week's trading. I'll try to put a number on that. Putting a horizontal line across there at the 1.16816 level. That's close resistance. If we stay below that level, that would be the best case scenario for the euro versus US dollar. If we move above, we could see further probing to the upside for this pair. Finally, let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. And like the euro versus US dollar, we saw a sympathetic gap to the downside, took the price below the 100 200. Then we saw a snapback rally up to the 100-hour moving average, found willing sellers against that. And then we had another snapback rally which took the price just above the 100-hour moving average, but you can see that was short-lived as we held resistance inside this swing area right through here at the ahead of the 134.67 level. And since then, we've moved back to the downside. We are trading below the 200-hour moving average, and that'll be close resistance now for traders, as will the 100-hour moving average. If we stay below those levels, the bias remains more to the downside for this pair. Now, on the downside, we did come down to a swing area that has been key in the short term, at least over the last couple of weeks. We broke below this level through here, but really it's most important when we came up to it here. We tried to hold support here and then fell below it and then broke back to the upside and trading here today. We've seen the price come down to that 134.14 level and find support buyers against that level. So resistance up here against the 100 and 200-hour moving average. Best case scenario, for the sellers, stay below the 200-hour moving average. If we're able to do that, like we've tried to do, then ultimately we're going to get below the 134.14 level and start to push down toward this swing area and push down toward the low prices that we saw in the month of September near the 1.3323 level. So there you have it, a look at 3 of the major currency pairs to kickstart your trading day and the new trading week in the North American session. My name is Greg McCloskey. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.